So there's been undeniable progress. Back in the day when Smokey Robinson and Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, under the tutelage, the brilliant, pugilistic tutelage of Berry Gordy, started a radio company in Detroit, Michigan, 1959. Shout out to the west side of the D from where I hail. Then changed the face of music, 1960, when Negroes could barely get a niche carved into the commercial landscape. Y'all saw Dream Girls. Black folk making songs and white folk remaking them and making money off the remakes. That's why I ain't mad at Kanye. Kanye had no philosophical acuity, no analytical depth that inspired his snatching of the microphone. That's all right, that's my job to supply. You just snatched the microphone, I'm gonna tell you why you did it. He snatched that microphone because he was fed up with the fact that black folk who deserve stuff just wasn't never getting it. And no disrespect to Taylor Swift, because Kanye done helped her. She might win the Nobel Peace Prize next year. But I bet you Chuck Berry didn't mind him snatching that microphone, because first of all, we know we know, put a ring, come on, put a ring on it? If you really put a ring on it? Oh, I'm saying about it? Oh, I'm saying about it. Beyonce? He was saying no disrespect to Taylor, but B? And you giving up the best video of the year to Taylor? Give me the damn microphone. I bet you Chuck Berry was saying, hell yes. You should have been there when they gave my trophy to Elvis Presley. You should have stepped out. I bet Little Richard was at home going, give me my Grammy. Little Richard was telling Pat Boone, he said, Kanye, you should have took the microphone from Pat Boone when he took all those awards I had. Kanye West was a compensatory mechanism to right the imbalance between black genius and the failure to acknowledge it in the larger global atmosphere. So there's no denying that there has been progress made from the time when Mr. Gordy imagined that the sound of young America could be the voices of those African-American young people amplifying the deepest aspirations of American democracy, singing about the beauty of black romance, talking about what Americana was about. The change between that in 1960, where they can barely carve a niche on the commercial landscape, and now in 2010, the biggest icons in the world hail from African American communities. Jay-Z, Nas, Snoop. Don't sleep on Snoop. He got white folks going for shizzle my dancers. Talking back in that act with a hell of a gangster in. the room last Saturday in Dallas, Texas, at the Two Kings event between LeBron James and Jay-Z. I sat next to Diddy, and then Jay. Drake was over in the room. I said, that's the property of October. I didn't drive there, I got showed. I don't remember about that. Y'all ain't listening to all the lyrics. Chris Paul, Jerry Jones, Mark Cuban, all of this concentrated black genius, accompanied with some of the greatest icons of American capital. In 2010, in a way that was unimaginable in 1960. The greatest science of our culture, the greatest entrepreneurs of our generation, during that time did not have that possibility. And so the sky is literally the limit for so many of them. And Jerry Jones is telling Jay-Z and LeBron about branding themselves. LeBron, who has aspirations to become the first billionaire athlete, he might surpass Tiger, we don't know. Depends on how Tiger worked his thing out. I ain't got much to say on that. Except if that was a black woman he was married to, she'd be in jail right now. Mr. James wants to be billionaire, so he consults with Brother Warren Buffett, 25 years old, unimaginably mature, self-possessed, articulate, easily and effortlessly engaging in conversation with white billionaires as much as he does with those from the hood from which he hailed and which he never forgets. Jay-Z from the Marcy Projects. Now all my teachers couldn't reach me and my mama couldn't beat me hard enough to match the pain of my pop not seeing me. So, with that disdain remembering that on a pimp game, the world my defense came. That Jay-Z. Now you know you must be ill if they got you on the cover of a magazine, right? And you ain't Lily White, right? He says, you must be, right? Either your flow is tight or you got skills. He said, it's both with me. Jay, you know, Jay, is self-understanding of his own genius. And he made him call himself Jay Hoba, the God MC. But he's been backing it up for like a bunch of albums when he's dropping serious science and at the same time embodying the aspirations of so many even beyond his community. So Jay-Z and LeBron represent athletically and entertainment-wise the deep and powerful aspirations, but it's a problem for so many other black folk because they don't want to see us segregated and quarantined into a basketball court or a hip-hop microphone. They understand that. That's why they're trying to leverage the authority of their capital with other billionaires to create space in the American marketplace, not simply to carve their niche, not simply to create a revenue stream that will engage them in forms of remuneration that will make them even richer, but also to translate the ethic of hustle and the profoundly powerful imagination it took to create the genius that they have so effortlessly exhibited. So my point is, there's been tremendous progress. My brothers and sisters, there's also been tremendous pain. At the same time, we got a black president, and I love that brother in the White House. I love to see him walking down the steps of Air Force One. got his suit on with his red tie, mega kilowatt smile, charismatic, Colombian Harbor, doing his dizzle, speaking every day, going up against them Republicans who ain't gonna never love him. That high intelligence wed to some of the most keen insight as a president, passionate declarations, stirring oratory. So I love to see him in the White House. But one brother in public housing ain't gonna change the condition of all black people. Oh, it's great public housing. That's a nice crib he living in. But one brother in the White House ain't gonna change our condition. Progress, if measured by the deficiencies of those who fail to achieve what he achieves or what you achieve, means that those who use the conception of progress are really trying to knock those who didn't make it where you've made it. Trying to knock those who ain't like Obama. How come all y'all ain't Obama? Wait a minute now. Slow down, mates. You're killing them. Oh, y'all ain't Einstein. Y'all ain't kicking it on the highest level. We know that institutionalized mediocrity has been the order of the day, and only when the challenge because of female, in terms of gender, or in terms of race, or in terms of class, does the preserve of white male authority get challenged in such a serious way that they begin to evoke litmus tests for us to pass that they can't even pass themselves. Right? So my point is, this is not to jump on white men. Some of my best friends in the world are white men. My point is to say be careful about personalizing progress in a negative fashion. Because you see, the poignant question that is raised in both the missives of Sister Davida and Brother Nigel is, can we appropriate personally the conception of progress such that we do not inevitably and unavoidably and endlessly engage in diatribes against a system that are abstract as opposed to what you're going to do with what you got with where you're going. That's different. But if you personalize it by saying that you ain't got as much moxie as me, you ain't got as much skill as me, you ain't got as much talent as me, you ain't got as much get up and go as me. Some folk have had the get up and go beat out of them. Some folk have had the initiative beat up out of them. Some folk have been discouraged. Some folk are systematically discouraged. When you look at television every day and you don't see yourself up there looking beautiful, when all the values and virtues of beauty are not yours, when the visions of what is resplendent and elegant ain't you, you are being systematically infiltrated unconsciously and you believe in the mythology of yourself. I mean, take a look at this room here tonight. This is some of the good-lookingest people I done seen. I mean, we got every, you know what, I ain't mad at nobody else. Please don't take this, I love everybody. But black folk and black women, man. I ain't mad at nobody. Marry who you can. If you and this microphone can get along, y'all holler at each other. Hey, how you doing? Fine, how you feeling? You know what I like about you? You amplify me. Y'all get married, have little mic tracks. Do your thing. If you meet somebody blue from Mars, marry them. Ain't no guarantee somebody from your own tribe, tradition, or trajectory gonna love you. So if you meet a white or black or brown or red or yellow people, get down with it. Do your thing. But that's different than dog and black women and saying they ain't worthy. So when you try to personalize progress by saying that people are incapable of overcoming obstacles which have been imposed upon them, you must never underestimate the capacity of the systemic distribution and dissemination of toxic ideas in a mainstream media that refuses to cede the fundamental capacity of Negro intelligence or the fundamental fact of black beauty. We got every color in the rainbow up in this piece. You got chocolate charm, caramel beauty, beige vitality, vanilla vivacity. There's everything. Locked hair, straight hair, wigs, weaves. Just treat it right. I don't care what you got. Fix it up and hook it up. Make it look good and then wear it. Sisters can be mean and fierce with bulk stuff as well as found stuff. They can create, that's what African identity is about. Taking something, finding it, reproducing it, making a creative edge with it. One person has called it the deification of accident. Stuff you ain't even meant to find. You just do stuff with it. The improvisational character of black intelligence and creativity is stunning. So when I see the black beauty here tonight, tall, talented young men, handsome and articulate, going to Ivy League schools and get treated like a piece of trash and folk don't know your name because your pants slung low, because you got some ink on your body, because you all tatted up, but you might have some intelligence in them tats. You might have some brains behind that. Stop dogging folk for wearing their pants low, raise their social aspirations, and their pants might follow. So, the notion of progress as a historical construct has been mediated through the prism of our vicious and virtuous ideas about what progress is for. Now we come to the age of Obama. Professor Brooks talks about it in his book. Gwen Ivory talks about it in her book. I got a book coming on Obama. A lot of folks trying to say we live in a post-racial era. Wow. That calls for a Whitney Houston rebuttal. Hell to the no! Post-race is whack. Now what is post-racial? What does that even mean? Is this a notion of progress? Is this a progressive realization of race such now we're post-racial? And this ain't the first time we talk about post-racial. If you do a genealogical analysis, you look at people who have been talking about post-race for a while, but they've been in a different kind of philosophical way. Now you got folk coming along now meaning by post-race that we just beyond it, we over it. We elected the Negro president, we're done. Blackness, bye-bye. No, we still be here, we baby-age kids. I don't even want to be post-racial because I don't know what it means. Post-racial means what? That we want to eradicate the fundamental structures of racial identity, not because we recognize with the anthropologists and the biologists race is a social construct, but we all know what that means. We go to school, we know these big terms. Race is a social construct. It is not real. It is part of the socially constructed imagination that has been disseminated over time and space. It awaits verification in the universe of social meanings that are predicated upon human flesh interacting with other human flesh. As a result, the ephemeral and amorphous conception of race has to be dissipated, and in its place, the conception of our profound and universal humanity. Catch a cab with that. Get a law degree with that. Get into the club with that. Excuse me, cab driver, race is a figment of your imagination. It has no vitality aside from the social meaning that you give to it. One raised finger in your face, your socially constructed racial face. Doesn't mean that I disagree with it. I do believe race is a social construct. It's not biologically determined. We know that. But the point of social construction and race is not to deny the material consequence and the concrete impact of race nonetheless. And so, the reality is that when we talk about post-racial, it's a great ideal if everything else being equal. But everything else ain't equal. So I don't want to be post-racial, because that really means, let's be honest, post-black. And I'm not really ready to give up on this. Because basically I've been majoring in blackness for 51 years, and that's what I've known. And are you going to tell me you're going to get rid of blackness in this world? What would this world be like without blackness? Isn't that what Douglas Turner Ward is about? A day of absence? Imagine if America never had no blackness. I never had any blackness. I understand that. This is a vernacular detour down the pathway of intimate exchange. If America never had no Negroes, what would this be like? No Richard Pryor. Can you imagine that? I hope the joke on the chicken bone. No Bill Cosby. And the people would be getting no Daddy. No Tupac. Somebody wake me, I'm dreaming. I started as a seed for semen, swimming upstream, planted in the womb while screaming. On the top was my pop, my mama hollering stop from a single drop. This is what they got, not to disrespect my people, but my papa was a loser. Only plan he had for mama was the plan abuser. And even as a seed, I could see his plan for me, stranded on welfare, another broken family. Imagine if we had no Langston Hughes, high on rivers, deep, deep rivers. Imagine if we didn't have Toni Morrison. Imagine if we didn't have Martin Luther King Jr. telling the truth about love's authority to overcome the obstacles of oppression and hate. Imagine if we had no blackness with Miles Davis and John Coltrane. 1959. Imagine if we didn't have that kind of genius, that kind of concentrated intelligence. What if we didn't have W.E.B. Du Bois, who in 1903 said that the problem of the 20th century is the problem of the color line. Two warring ideals, two unreconciled strivings, whose dogged strength alone keeps it from being torn asunder, he said. Imagine if America had no trace of blackness. This soulless environment that we call America would be depleted and incapable of imagining a different way forward without the presence of these powerful people. I ain't saying nobody else ain't got their thing. I'm just saying what we do and how we do it, the way we make it do. What we even do with language. I mean, we just get all up in the guts of sentences. Good morning. Just how we do our look at Wendy Williams. How you do? Even Obama had to go to black discourse with the Republicans. I'm just saying. That's black talk. So universal now, you don't recognize where it got started at. Don't go behind that preposition. That's the only place we had to hide sometimes. Was behind prepositions. My daddy said, I'm fixing to go to the store. If you really got going, I'm fitting to go. When you gonna be back? I'll be back directly. I saw a Negro on TV dogging Ebonics while speaking it. I ain't gonna call his name. He was a conservative commentator, had strong